Welcome back to the fields of Perthshire, and boy am I excited. I am back on the medieval church site. I have been dying to get back out, but time has just not allowed. I just had a little catch up there with the farmer, and he is pretty amazed with what I have been discovering. So well, amazing, absolutely amazing. That and the fact that I have now hit 25,000 subscribers. Absolutely phenomenal. So a huge thank you to everyone for getting me to this milestone, which has been just unbelievable. To think that in a little over 2 years, I've gone from 0 to 25,000. I must be doing something right. So let's go and see if we can celebrate 25,000. A lovely big gold sovereign would be a good start. So I've opted to start in this little grass paddock area, which is, I think, just a little bit overgrown in places, but I'm going to give it a go because it produced the best part of 30 odd coins over 2 days digging. Some of them are way back. Well, the oldest one was a cut quarter, and also an Edward I penny, which was probably from around the 1290s, and the cut quarter might even be older. Well, as you can see, it's pretty long, but I'm straight in with a target. And it's an 88-89, which could be a coin. Even the farmer was asking, how are we getting so many coins, or how am I getting so many coins out of this field? So we did just discuss the fact that the ground has never been detected before, and I said, well, it could be the possibility that maybe the military have been here at some point in the past. Maybe a campsite. It's not a deep target, thankfully, because the ground is rock hard. The ground is rock solid. Although it's very shallow, which I think means it's probably not going to be a coin. What is that? That's a bit of wood. It is literally just under the surface. So much so that the roots are holding it all together. Let's see if I give it a wee shuggle. Still in there. Hang on, I'm going to need 2 hands for this. What's happened? It's fallen out. Whatever it is. Whatever it is fallen out. Ah, it is a coin. It is a coin. I've dropped it. There it is. Oh, I've dropped it again. There it is. First hole. I am literally 30 seconds in, and I've got a coin. Well, how about that for a start? George V. So he was the coin that kept turning up the most often. 1916, just a year before they changed the name of the royal family. It was George V who changed the name from, let me think, was it 19? I think it was 1917. I'm sure he changed it from Saxe-Gotha-Coburg or Saxe-Coburg-Gotha, and he changed it to the House of Windsor. And that's because there was a lot of anti-German feeling within the UK as a result of the First World War, the Great War, because his cousin was Kaiser Wilhelm of Germany, and his other cousin was Tsar Nicholas. And Tsar Nicholas and Kaiser Wilhelm saw the collapse of their empires, while Britain's continues. However, during George's reign, there was the beginnings of the end of the Commonwealth, because India began to push towards independence, achieving it in 1947. And also the Irish were pushing hard for their own republic. But there you go, a nice coin and a great start in the first 30 seconds. Well, the coin was from there, the penny, and right there is a very similar 86, 87. Oh, he's got silver. He has to. It's a silver coin. Hole number 2, 1 minute in. And what was I just saying? Speaking to the farmer, why are there so many coins? Oh, it's a beauty. It's a Victoria. It's the grandmother of George V. And it's her old portrait. This must be pretty late, 1890, 1900. And it is in fact 1890 on the nose. It's a silver 3 pence. I shouldn't rub it. There's not a lot of mud on it because the ground's so dry. It has not rained in an eternity. You don't often say that about Scotland. That's a beautiful coin. It's a bit smooth and worn, but that is silver on the second hole. It's going to be 92.5% silver as well because it's pre-1920 when they debased the silver coins to 50%. But that is a very, very nice coin. A silver 3 pence. That is probably 2 pints of beer right there, maybe even 3. A sore loss indeed. Well, I got off to a fantastic start. A penny and a silver threepence in the first few minutes, but unfortunately the grass is just too long. So I've come into this field next door, which has been planted in barley, as you can see. However, quite a large strip has been left up the sides of the field. And this is actually where I found the Holy Grail. I forgot about that one when I was talking about what I'd found before, but yeah, this is where the Holy Grail came from, this field. It's been stone picked, so a lot of this material to the right is quite stony ground, where it's probably been dumped over the years. It's probably how the Holy Grail ended up where it ended up, but we'll give it a go and see what we can find. Well, so much for the Holy Grail field. This is the first target that I've had, and I've walked 300 metres. And it's not even that good, to be honest. It's a 49, which probably means it's tinfoil. Well, as expected, that is. It's Butagran Equi, and something in a strange, possibly Dutch language. It's an oral powder for horses. Get well soon, horse. Hurrah! 2 coins in the first 2 minutes. Then I didn't have a signal for half an hour. Now I've not had another signal for another half an hour. And then finally, it sounds pretty good. 82, 83. How hard is the ground going to be? It's pretty crusty. It's pretty rock solid. As I say, we've really not had any rain here. Some farmers are already starting to irrigate, which is pretty incredible for this time of year. Now, if I can get the top off, hopefully that will make it a bit easier to dig. Famous last words. Okay, that's better. Right, we're in there with a good spadeful. That isn't it there, is it? That's pretty round. It is. This could be an absolutely humongous... Oh, sorry, that's my metal detector. I dropped it on the spade. This could be a pretty humongous musket ball. And it actually is. That is a gigantic musket ball. My God, that is a whopper. An absolute whopper. It's got a funny colour to it. Normally lead goes white, and this has gone kinda grey. But it is a musket ball. It's not a fishing weight, there's no holes in it. There's nowhere where a loop has broken off. Let's get you into the light a wee bit better. But yeah, that is a musket ball, and it's a whopper. Imagine that coming at you at 700 or 800 feet per second, or thereabouts. That would be devastating. And date wise, it's probably going to be 1700s, but as I've mentioned many times before, the first firearms came to Scotland in the 1380s, and we had embraced artillery by the beginning of the 1400s, largely thanks to King James II, who only went and killed himself by blowing up a cannon while laying siege to an English fort in the south of Scotland at a place called Roxburgh. There you go. That field didn't go very well. I gave it an hour. I got one musket ball, well, plus some other junk. Having spoken to the farmer though, this potato field, which has never ever ever been metal detected, I'm allowed to go through the roadways, through the middle. So there's another field down below as well, so fingers crossed, some treasures to be had. First signal in this new field. It's all over the place, way up to 99, could be a bottle top. Hopefully it is a bottle top. I was going to say hopefully it's easy to dig, but there is a bottle top with a wee smiley face. The sun is shining. I haven't had a clod shot in ages. This wasn't the best of targets, 70, 60, but it's out now and it's a clod shot. It might still be junk, but everyone likes a clod shot, don't they? If I can actually break it open. And the answer is, I can't. Is that it there? Nope, that's a stone. Here we go. Right. That is going to be a wee minium. Oh, even better. It's a ring pull. 1970s, 1980s, a classic. We have another good signal. It's a very nice 86. Let's see how easy this is going to be to scrape away. It's definite coin territory. It's a wee bit deeper. So let's get the spade in there. It's in the wet stuff. Right, up you get. Come on. Still in there. That didn't sound like it was that deep, but then what do I know? We're out. We're still 85, 86. Come on, haven't had a good signal for a while. Ah, there's a coin. There's a coin, I didn't even see it. It's a spendable, is it? Is it a 1 pence? Do we have a wee... Oh, look at that, we've got a wee crusty little imprint. It is pretty blank. It is a halfpenny. I can just see a 1 over a 2. Let's zoom in a wee bit there. Can you see that? Just at the bottom there. That is a halfpenny. It's in terrible condition. They often are because they're made of this cupronickel. Bendy thumb, bringing it to life a wee bit now. I think at least they're made of cupronickel, but there you go. You can see the crown. You can see the word halfpenny. And you can see the little fraction. So that's going to be Elizabeth II, the late Queen. There you go. Well, I doubt, oh no, I could get a date off of that. I think it's the year I was born, 1979. Well, that's a sign of a gold sovereign to come, surely. I'm right at the edge of the field. Look at this lovely old stone dike. This stone dike wall could be potentially hundreds of years old. And right here, it's probably either going to be something good or a tin can. It's an 81. Let's scrape away, see if it's shallow. Well, it's not. Don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign, but we'll find out in a minute. Well, what have we got? It's round, kind of. Well, it's actually domed. What is that? What is that? Is it part of a bell from a bicycle? Nope, wrong shape. It's a pommel off of a sword. An ancient Pictish warrior. Not convinced. Well, it's a thing. Of that we can be certain. It's got like a kind of little lump there that's thicker. But I'm not sure if that's got a reason, but yeah, it is. It's kind of a bit like a bicycle bell. It could be, and it's just been bent, I suppose, but maybe someone left their bike here and their bell fell off. But let me know in the comments below. This one is a little bit mixed. There's definitely an iron tone going on there as well. Yeah, it's like an 84, and there's something big. Is that a stone? I think that is a stone actually. Come on you, out you get. There you go. There's a big stone. Might be a wee bit deeper than I expected. It is right about there. We're out. Still iron in the hole. An ear blowing 85. And I think, without even using the probe, I think we've got a coin. Oh, we do, and it looks brilliant. Oh, what a patina this has got on it. Wow, it's almost black. Very similar in colour to that one that I got next to the iron the other day. Well, the other day, a few weeks ago. Here, 1889. And Britannia seated. And we have got Queen Victoria. Let's give her a wee wash. See if we can bring out any detail a wee bit better. I haven't forgotten anything today. Got my spade, got my pinpointer, got my water bottle. Still not found my brush thing that my wife didn't lose, but I didn't touch it. And there's only the two of us in the house. But let's not get hung up on detail. Look at that. That is a beauty of a coin. That is an absolute beauty. 1889. Look at the patina on that. That is a really, really beautiful coin. I love that. When they come out like this olivey, almost black colour. So, Victoria de Gracia, Britannia Regina, Defender of the Faith, Fid Def. So Queen Victoria, who ruled from 1837 till 1901. I think she had, what, 9 children, was it? She was a busy woman, that's for sure. She also had something like 42 grandchildren, and all of her kids and grandkids would go on to basically propagate, is that the right word? Breed with, there you go, all of the royal families of Europe. So there you go. And she took the throne at 18, and she ruled for 63 years, I think it was. 63 years and 10 months rings a bell for some reason, but She spent much of her life in misery, in depression, because of the death of her husband, Prince Albert. But there you go, that is a beautiful coin. I look forward to seeing that in the light box in all its glory. That's the extent of the best finds so far, and I've just had a look at the time, and that's 2 hours and 38 minutes, and that's my 4 good finds. So not a bad day. Well done to the XP DEUS 2 so far. We could have another bit of silver, or maybe a Georgian coin, or maybe none of the above. Oh, it could be a bottle top. Going a wee bit high, 91, 93, 95. Still up at 97 now. I think it might be a bottle top. Oh no, what's that there? Oh, that's a big coin, I think. Oh, it's not, it's a washer. Look, there is... Oh, it's a whopper. It is a whopper of a coin. That is surely going to be George III. Has to be. It's not quite a cartwheel penny, is it? No, I think it's just a wee bit too small. That is a beauty. Well, we might get some good detail off this, because look at the patina on the other coins we've had so far. They're in pretty good condition. I don't think there's been a huge amount of phosphates and stuff used on the fields up here. Right, with these coins, because they're big and they're copper, you don't want to wet them, and you just give them a wee gentle brush just to take the surface off, and then you leave them to dry out, and then you give them the bendy thumb treatment. So I'll get back to you in 5 or 10 minutes, but I think there could be a head there looking to the right, but I'll be right back. Alas, not as good as I was hoping, but still I can identify it. It is George III. You can see his big potato head with his very large Romanesque nose just here looking to the right hand side. And George III ruled from 1760 to 1820. Chances are this coin's probably from around 1800. And in 1800 this was a fairly hefty amount of wealth, because at the time the lowest paid people were only earning £2 a year. So 480 pence a year. So for some people this was almost a day's wages. And you could probably buy a couple of loaves of bread, maybe a couple of, or maybe even 3 or 4 pints of beer. Very rough beer, I should add. But George III, he famously loses his mind various times throughout his life. I think his worst bout was the final 10 years of his life, when his son had to take over as regent in his father's absence. But he was treated pretty horrifically by his physicians. He was given enemas of mercury, he bloodletted, he suffered just unimaginable pain and cruelty for people who felt that they were trying to actually do something good. He lost the Americas, he defeated Napoleon, well, his armies did, at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815, and what else? I think he abolished the slave trade in about 1807. So there you go, nice little coin, and a good bit of history, a couple of 100 years old anyway. That was the big Georgian penny, and just here, 85, 86, I tell you what, it's within the realms of another coin. It is within the realms of another coin, maybe a wee bit more modern. It's up at 88 now, it's just a wee bit high, I'm afraid. $87, $88. I think we might have moved it. Maybe. Ah, what's that? There's something there, which is... It's another one of these bits. Doesn't even matter what type of field I go on. Whatever land I find these, it is a bit more intact than they usually are. Leslie's wee tool to the rescue. Well done, Les. But yeah, normally it's that wee bit that I find. I think someone suggested it was maybe a handle for a door or something, but it's definitely agricultural looking. We've got another digger. Bit of a big length of power line running next to the field, so the machines are jittering a little bit. 87, I don't think it's going to be a coin. Just sounds a wee bit tinny. Well, I could be wrong, but I hope I'm wrong. Ugh. Right. Pinpointer time, I think. I'm in the right place, just not deep enough. I'm going to turn you off for a sec so it's not quite so bouncy. Also balance the machine. I dug a very, very big hole, but we're out somewhere over here. We've got something round. Oh, it's definitely a coin. I thought for a minute it was a pound coin, but it's not. I can see the word FID def. What is that? Is that a shilling, maybe? Let me get the water bottle out. Don't think it's silver. Or is it silver? No. I think it's post 1947. It's Cupron nickel. Oh, it's 1948. We missed it by a year. So that means it's George the 6th. It is the late Queen's father. There he is. Right, let me dry this off and I'll get right back to you. There we go. Georgius the 6th. By the grace of God, King of the Britons. And on the reverse, Fid Def Ind Imp, Defender of the Faith and Emperor of India. So we've got the date of 1948, and that would have been the last year that coins would show Ind Imp, because India gains its independence in 1947. And we also debase our coins in 1947, if I remember rightly. They go from 50% silver to 0% silver. This is a shilling, which would have been 12 pence in the old days, I think. And at a time when there were 240 pence to the pound. So this is 1/20th of a pound, not 1/24th. I'm learning. Maths was never a strong point. So yeah, George the 6th. So he should never have been king. His father was George the 5th. And he had an older brother called Edward. And Edward was the one who abdicated in, 1936? After about 9 months as king, to marry the divorcee, Wallis Simpson. And George the 6th was thrust into the limelight. He went from Duke of York to king. And he married in the 1920s a woman of Scottish ancestry called Elizabeth Bowes-Lyon. And they had 2 daughters, Elizabeth and Margaret. Margaret was the younger sister of Queen Elizabeth II, the party girl. So there you go, nice wee coin. And he also had a terrible speech impediment, which the King's Speech movie was made about. Lionel Lokes, the Australian physician and speech therapist. Brilliant, great wee coin. What's that, 4, 5 that I've had now? Okay, I'll redo this one because, oh no, it's a bottle top. Well, I thought I had a coin. And I've got Bar's Iron Brew. This could be a coin. I've had a couple of bottle tops. Pretty consistent. 85, 86. Ground's a wee bit more firm here. Take two. It's a wee bit erratic now, but turn that on and off again. There we go. I've got more than one target. Could have. It's a wee twist. It's a wee, I was going to say it's like a wee washer, like not a washer, like a bag thing, but I don't think it is. I tell you what, I think it could be a ring. I think that could be a ring. It looks decorated. Right, get the les tool out. I think that could be a ring, you know. I think that is a copper ring. That's an X. It's got an X on it. Right. And don't worry, it's just a gentle rub before anyone panics. I am barely touching it. That is a ring. That is 100% a ring. That could be medieval. That could be medieval. It really could be medieval. I would say it's a man's ring. It looks the right size, but it's a little bit flat. So it's got an X on it. It looks like a fern there, or a feather maybe. Hang on, let me zoom you in a wee bit. Is that any good? I think it's going to have to wait for the light box, but yeah, there's an X. It looks like a feather or a fern just there. And there's another X. And another X. That is definitely a ring. And look, there's another feather or another fern. 100%. That is a ring. That is a ring, and it could be medieval. That could be very old. That could be 13, 14, 1500, something like that. I suppose it could even be into the 16 or 1700s, but I don't know, it just looks a bit crude. So there you go. Maybe, that could be quite interesting. That could be quite interesting. Well, that is good. That is really good. Well, another one for the archaeologists to look at, isn't it? Fantastic. Find of the day so far. Well, let me know your comments in the... let me know your thoughts in the comments. And I'll put this in the light box later on. I'm not going to wet it because I think it's copper. But yeah, fantastic. That was the ring, and I swear to goodness, we might have a coin right next to it. That's 85, 86. We do have a coin. I can see it. I can see it. It's not even deep. It looks like a penny. Right there. 100%. That is 1 pence. That is 1 pence. Let me crack this open. See if we've got a wee imprint or not. Nope, it's not wanting to come off. Not in one piece anyway. I don't think it's going to be a very good coin though. It looks pretty crusty to me, going by how badly the soil stuck to it. Well, there's a tiny bit of an imprint there. Right, will we get any detail off it? Let's give it a wee rub. Oh, there's something there. Yep, there's definitely something there. Oh, it's George. It's George V again. I can see a head looking to the left. 100%. You can see his lovely big moustache. Right, I'm going to wet these coins. Well, it's better than it initially looked, but that's going to be Britannia on this side. And what I will do is I will dry it out, and I'll get back to you to give you a better look at it once it's had a wee dry up and a wash. Now, it's not fared very well, this one, but you can clearly see there George V looking to the left hand side, and on the reverse I think we've got 1911, so just 1 year after he took the throne in 1910, on the verge of the Great War, the First World War. Nice. Coin number 5, 6. We could have another Georgian copper just here, or a spendable. It's an ear-blowing 90, and it could be a Georgian copper. Could be. Or a bottle top. In fact, could just be about anything. Right, we're out. We are out the hole. Third time of asking. What is that? Is that a coin? It could be a coin, you know. Well, that was an easy spot. It's got a funny colour to it again. It's got a funny colour, and I think it is a wee Georgian halfpenny maybe. There's definitely going to be some detail on there, isn't there? Mud off. Right, I just need to tell you what, I thought for a second there I could see a thistle. It could be, you know. It's kind of vanishing if it was. Right, I'll let this dry out. It is, that's a thistle. Look, with a crown above it. 100%, that's a crown right there. There's the head of the thistle. There's the two leaves. That is a thistle, so that's going to be a bobby. And it could actually be in quite good condition. It certainly could. Right, I'm going to let this dry out properly. I'm not going to wet it because it's copper. And I will get back to you in a minute with the bendy thumb. It's as good a copper Scottish coin as I've had in a while. But there is a thistle, hopefully you can see that. And it would say something like Nemo me impune lacessit, which is who dare meddle with me, which is the order of the thistle. It's a little bit kind of shiny. It's quite sandy, this soil here, so I think it's been rolling about in the surface, but it's going to be sometime in the 1600s, I think. And there's actually a head. There's a good head there. I was going to say there should be, well, I wasn't sure what to expect on this side. That is Charles II. I can make out Carolus just there. So it would say something like Carolus mag Brit FRA et Hibernia, which would be Charles II, King of Great Britain, France and Ireland. That is Charles II. That is amazing. So that coin is going to date to, he was restored in 1660 and he died in 1685. Brilliant, what a great coin. That is a really, really nice coin. It's the best one of these I've had in a long time. And Charles II was the son of Charles I. Charles I lost his head in 1649 because he went to war with Parliament and lost. That's when Oliver Cromwell becomes, de facto leader of the Republic, which is England and Scotland and Ireland. Scotland's Parliament responds by making Charles II the king, which I think happened pretty much immediately in 1649. It then results in defeat for Charles II against, was it the New Model Army? Is that what Cromwell's army was called? In 1651, I think it was the Battle of Worcester, if I remember right. I'm going to even say September 1651. And Charles II flees to France to stay with his cousin, Louis XIV, I think it was. And when Cromwell dies in 1658, 1659, there's a bit of a crisis. No one really knows what to do. So they end up going and asking Charles II if he'd like to come back and be king, which he says yes. And he arrives back in England, in London, in 1660 on his 30th birthday, if I remember rightly. So there you go. That is wonderful. Coin's fading now that it's drying out a bit in the wind, but that's a cracker. Absolute cracker. What's that? 1660, 17, 18, 19. So that's over 350 years old potentially. Fantastic. Look at that for a view. Oh, I've just come over into a different field and there is so much land for me to detect. It's unbelievable. It's potatoes, but they've left masses of land that I can detect. So this is a dream come true. I'm not going to have more than probably another half an hour. I'm just going to have a really quick scout about this field and see if anything interesting comes up. Straight in with a signal. It was a wee bit wishy-washy. What do you reckon of that? Copper alloy. It's kind of like it's been on a pivot. I can't see any decoration. Could it just be, in fact, is it just a big zip tag? Because I was looking at it thinking, oh, it's like a horse decoration, but I wonder if it is. It could actually just be like a zip toggle for an early type of zip jacket. Well, it's either something epic or it's something fairly modern and junk. So let me know your comments in the thoughts below. No, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Right there was the toggle come medieval horse harness. And right there, it's a bit wishy-washy now. I thought it sounded better than that. It's an 83, 84. Sounds a lot better now. 84, it could be a wee halfpenny. That would be nice. Oh, I tell you what, he's only went and got a silver coin. Second signal in the field is silver. It is silver. Come on, off you pop. Oh, it's kind of crumbled. Well, you might have got an imprint, but you beauty. A silver sixpence. A lucky silver sixpence of 1921. 50% silver. I've just missed it by a year again. Right. Beautiful lion above a crown. And on that side is our good friend, gorgeous George V. So I think we've got certainly 3 or 4 generations of coinage. And what, 2 silvers I think now we've got. So that is a pretty good day by anyone's imagination. George V, he ruled from 1910 to 1936. His father was Edward VII, Dirty Bertie as he was also known. The Playboy Prince. Fantastic. What a day and what fantastic fields. Look at that for a view. It's not often I can show you the view, but look at that. That is stunning. A glorious Scottish day on the fields of Perthshire. I'm detecting on the way back to the car, got about 300 metres to go, it might take me a while. An ear blowing 80. I've moved it. Surprised I still haven't had a button yet. A bit high for a button. Oh, what's that? It's a coin. Well, I didn't think that was a coin. Oh, it's crusty. It's a crusty old coin. Could be a halfpenny. Right, it's going to be a struggle to get in and off this, I think. Yep, it's pretty toasty. But it's another coin. Right, I'll leave it to dry out for a wee minute and then I'll get back to you. I'm afraid even the bendy thumb can't save this. I think it's probably Georgian. Maybe George II, George III, that kind of era, but yeah, 1700 to 1820, give or take. We'll have a look in the light box when we get home. Well then, I'm going to leave it there for today. I've not made it all the way to the car yet, but I'm getting that many signals. If I don't just turn on my machine or turn off my machine and walk to the car, my wife is going to lose the will to live because I'm going to be here for another 2 hours. So thanks for watching. I'm not sure quite how many things I've found, so you have to join me in a minute in the light box to find out for sure. But I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a fantastic day. Some really nice old finds as well, which we'll have a look at in a moment. So if you like what you see and you're not already subscribed, then please hit the button. If I can get lots of subscribers, it might help me become the first metal detectorist to be sponsored by Mercedes, or who knows, maybe a nice wee Land Rover. But if you like what you see, then hit that button, give it a thumbs up. And thanks again for 25,000 subscribers. And who knows, it might be even bigger than that. And I'm just a little bit behind with video editing. So we will see you on the next dig. Thanks for watching, and let's go and have a look in the light box. Welcome back to the light box. Well, I did even better than I had thought. 10 coins. Plus a few other bits and pieces, including a potential medieval ring. So that is not a bad wee outing at all. Right, I'll zoom this in a little bit and then we'll have a look at some of the better finds. Let's make a wee start with the lead. So that is a musket ball. It's been fired by the looks of it. And it's got a funny colour to it. Normally these come out like a chalk white colour, but this one's almost slightly black. But that is a big old musket ball, probably from 16 or 1700s, I'm guessing. Then, having said, didn't really seem to be getting a lot of lead off these fields. We got 3 sizable little chunky bits. You see the colour difference? Versus the musket ball, that's the kind of colour you normally expect lead to come out like. So I'm not quite sure what's happened to the musket ball, but anyway, I got about another 5 or 6 small fragments of lead as well. Now this thing here on the left hand side, what do you reckon? I think it could be part of a bicycle bell, you know that, and it's been squashed. I've had a few bicycle bells over the years, probably farm workers who were using bicycles to get to and from work. But let me know on that one. Then this little thing, I'm sure someone mentioned before, it's possibly a window latch or something like that. It's either off a tractor or it's a sash and case window, something like that. But again, we get lots of them. Normally this little hooked part, so maybe it's an old window frame that's been burned. Then we have this curious little thing, which initially I thought could be an old pendant, but I don't know. I think it could just be a plain old zipper. But I cannot see any decoration on it. And if it was some sort of pendant, then I would expect there to be something written on it, or, you know, a drawing or an animal or something. But I don't see a thing. So again, let me know your thoughts on that one. What else have we got? We have got the ring. So look at that. That cross, very prominent. You can see that little sort of, it's either a feather or a fern that I mentioned before. And there's another cross there. So it's covered in decoration. Put it on my finger, that'll probably be easier. So it's covered in decoration. It looks like it's, oh, dropped it. Looks like it's some kind of copper or copper alloy. It's been flattened, but could it be medieval? Well, let me know your comments in the comments. Then we have our little array of coins. The oldest is just here. Let's zoom you in a little bit so you can clearly see the thistle with the crown above it that I mentioned in the field. And on the other side you can see a head of Carolus, C-A-R-O-L-U-S, Carolus, which is Charles II. So that's a bobby. Don't know if I remember saying that in the field or not, but that is a copper bobby, which is a sixpence. So sixpence from the 1600s. Then we have a very battered 1911 1 penny of George V. Can you just see his little moustached head looking to the left? This is a George III penny, and again you can just make out his head looking to the right hand side. Big old copper, probably from sometime around 1800. This is another halfpenny. I think this could also be Georgian. George II, George III, sometime in the middle of the 1700s through to the beginning of the 1800s, I'm guessing, but it's completely toasted. Then this beautiful patinaed penny. Look at that. That is an absolute cracker. Victoria, and a very clear date on the other side with a beautiful Britannia, 1889. So that's 2 coins I've had out this field. I think they were both Victorias, and they both had this black patina to them. This one's actually got a couple of spots that almost look like rust. So again, I wonder if it's been in contact with iron, because the other one was dug up right next to an iron signal. So 1889, beautiful coin, really love that. And then what else do we have? Well, we've got another penny. This is also George V. This one dated 1916, in much better condition than the other one. You can see his head there clearly looking to the left hand side. Then we have a halfpenny. Haven't had one of these for a wee while. The year that I was born, 1979, Elizabeth II. So even though we'd gone decimal in 1971, we still kept the halfpenny because it would have affected inflation, apparently, if they'd have done away with it, because goods would have got more expensive. This is, well, it would have been silver, 50% silver, if it had been made a year earlier. This is George VI. It's 1 shilling, which is 12 pence, and it's 1948. So by this time, 1947 is when they debased our silver coins. They went from 50% silver to 0% silver. So it would have had a silver colour to it, but I think it's cupronickel, if I remember. Then we have a very, very silver coin, which is Queen Victoria. It's our whole old head. It's 92.5% silver, and it's a 3p or a 3p, 1890. And then last but not least, a very nice George V, also in silver. This time though, it's a sixpence, 1921. Brilliant. So, all in all, that has been a pretty good day. So, as I mentioned before, if you're not already tuned in to the channel, then, if you're not following the channel, then hit the subscribe button, and maybe I'll get that sponsorship from Land Rover or Mercedes before the end of the year. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next dig. Take care.